this lesson, we're going to cover the third and final part of the Spanish present tense. We're going to continue with the nosotros and nosotras case. AR verbs will get amos ending. For ER, we have hemos. IR, imos. So let's take the verb hablar. How do you say in Spanish, we speak? Hablamos. How do you say in Spanish, we learn? Aprendemos. How do you say in Spanish, we live? Vivimos. Let's practice with some exercises. How do you say in Spanish, we speak English? Hablamos inglés. In this case, using nosotros is not very necessary, because hablamos can only mean nosotros or nosotras. We learn Spanish. Aprendemos español. We live in China. Vivimos en China. The endings for the ellos, ellas, and ustedes case are an, en, and en. So how do you say in Spanish, they speak? Ellos hablan. How do you say in Spanish, they learn? Ellos aprenden. And how do you say, they live? Ellos viven. Examples. How do you say in Spanish, they speak English? Ellos or ellas hablan inglés. They learn Spanish. Ellos or ellas aprenden español. They live in Mexico. Ellos or ellas viven en México. For the next exercises, we need new vocabulary. As you know, amiga means friend, in the feminine case. Now the plural form is amigas. Amigo means friend, in the masculine case. And the plural form is amigos, as in only men or a mixed group of men and women. We also have hermana, meaning sister, and the plural form, hermanas. Hermano, meaning brother, and the plural form, hermanos. This can mean only brothers, or the mixed group of brothers and sisters, as in siblings. It's also important to know that in order to say my friend, you need to use me. And in the plural case, this becomes mis. Mis amigas, mis amigos. The same for hermana and hermano. Mi hermana, mi hermano. Mis hermanas, mis hermanos. Here we have the present tense endings for ellos and ellas. We're going to use that to complete the next exercises. How do you say in Spanish, my siblings live in the United States? Mis hermanos viven en Estados Unidos. My friends speak Spanish. Mis amigos hablan español. My sisters travel a lot to Mexico. Mis hermanas viajan mucho a México. My siblings eat a lot. Mis hermanos comen mucho. My friends learn French. Mis amigos aprenden francés. Indicating the name of other people. Now we will cover all the cases. We will use again the verb llamar to say to call. You know that the expression me llamo means I call myself, understood as my name is. Tú te llamas. You call yourself, understood as your name is. For él se llama. He calls himself. Ella se llama. She calls herself. We covered all of this in the previous lesson. Now we're going to continue with usted. The verb llamar is conjugated in the same way, but here we need to use yourself in the formal case. This is se as well. Then we have nosotros and nosotras, and the verb is conjugated as llamamos. But we still need to add ourselves. That's nos. Nos llamamos. Ellos, ellas, the verb is conjugated as llaman. But we need to say they call themselves. The word for themselves is se. Ustedes. Remember, this means you all. The verb is conjugated as llaman. And we need to say you all call yourselves. That's se llaman. This phrase is understood as your names are. But in the next exercise, we will be using ellos and ellas se llaman, meaning their names are. How do you say in Spanish, my siblings' names are Paula and Carlos? Mis hermanos se llaman Paula y Carlos. My sisters' names are Sandra and Monica. Mis hermanas se llaman Sandra y Mónica. My friends' names are Mario, Laura, and Pedro. Mis amigos se llaman Mario, Laura, y Pedro. And by the way, these words that we have been using to say myself, yourself, and the rest are called reflexive pronouns, or in Spanish, pronombre reflexivo. In future lessons, we will have a couple specific verbs that also require this part. But for now, this is the end of this lesson.